And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the WardiTV Monday. WardiTV Monday number 65, your weekly dose of WardiTV action. I'm, of course, your side VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the Puma Chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. I know that we're nearing the end of the year. Christmas is right around the corner as well. But you know what? That doesn't stop the StarCraft. That does non-stop StarCraft happy. Aye. We still have all of our weeklies, of course. Pegasus Cup, WardiTV Monday, as alongside Sparkling Tuna Cup and other events as well. It's still going to be quite a busy era, a busy time for us here on the CranKy Ducklings. Bam! As you can see with our schedule, we do have some days off, kind of. As you can see here, we should be having Tuesday and Wednesday off. So tomorrow we won't have a broadcast. The day after we won't have a broadcast either. At least that is the current plan. So we should be taking Christmas Eve off. Christmas Day we should be live with Pegasus Cup. So Pegasus Cup we're still going to be covering. That is going to be over on Thursday, and on Friday we were notified a little bit late, but we do have another cast also scheduled for Friday as well. That'll be Boxing Day. So Christmas Day and Boxing Day, we should still be covering some StarCraft. Currently it's empty. You can see that Friday is empty, but we should be covering some StarCraft and some show match specifically. A show match should be taking place on the 26th. Meanwhile, on the 27th, we do have a StarCraft Evolution League at number 17 replay cast and Sparkling Tuna Cup, of course, on Sunday. So despite the holidays here, we should only have 2 days off this week to spend time with our families, to take a bit of a break, of course, but the StarCraft doesn't end. No, we just keep on going. And honestly, I said it before, technically, if I really wanted to, I could cast every day. Like if I wanted to, we got replays, we got some other things to schedule. If we wanted to, we could move some things around and actually cast every day, but we did want to take some time off coming into the end of the year sort of time, so they decided to take it a little bit easier here towards the end of 2025, coming into 2026. Hi. So again, we do have still a pretty jam-packed schedule for you, so hope you enjoy yourselves, hope you have a great end of year. And first things first, welcome to the WardiTV Monday. And now, as a reminder, this event is an event that we used to cover live until October. What happened in October? Daylight savings hit Europa. Daylight savings did hit Europe, and as a result of that, now the WardiTV Mondays start very, very late, to the point where it ends at around 3-4 a.m. in the morning, and it would be nice to get some sleep at some point. So unfortunately, we aren't able to cover this event live anymore, but we can cover it via replays. Speaking of, that is why we're here live with you with said replay casts. So again, this event did occur a week ago. I should say the WardiTV Monday at number 65 was a week ago, and we're here to catch up on those replays, to catch up on those matches. Up first, we have a best of 3 between Clem and Creator, a round of 16 match. Let's go. Let us go. Oh, as I didn't realize, but that may be a bit of an issue here. Hopefully it doesn't impact oh god, hopefully it doesn't impact the broadcast too much and too heavily, but these replays did occur last week, and you know what that means. That was on a previous version of the game. Again, there was a patch last week that did actually impact us in our ability to cover the Tuna Cup. If you remember, Sparkling Tuna Cup was negatively impacted by this, just because we did have to kind of change the game. We had to update the game switching regions, and we just weren't able to do that. So that is something that may impact this broadcast a little bit, but here we go. Going to be loading into game 1, going to be loading into Ruby Rock. Let's go. Here we go, as we are jumping into our fresh series, our first game of the series, game 1. Let's go. This morning in top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the French Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is a Creator. Sorry, it is Clem. Nah, gotta look in, baby, gotta look in. This morning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss. It is Creator. Here we go. Some big names already facing off early on in the tournament here in the round of 16. Clem, of course, coming in as the heavy favorite. He's coming in as the best Terran player in the world, and we'll see if Creator can keep up and catch up. Now, to be fair, Creator, he has been improving quite heavily over the past couple of weeks. It's been really cool to see the improvements and the progression of Creator coming into the new patch and coming into the new map pool. But again, a heavy hitter stands before him, so we'll see if Creator can hold his own and how he does compare and how he does stand his ground against against Clem. Let's go. Double gas. Double gas opening here out of Clem, going for a more tech-heavy start, going for a faster factory, going for a delayed CC. Now, this more aggressive build does make a little sense here because welcome one and all to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock has a very exposed third. Has an exposed third expansion here, has an exposed natural expansion as well. Shorter rush distance by ground, and aggression is favored on this map, so we expect aggression from both sides. We'll see how many gateways do we go, 2 gate, 3 gate, or 4 gates blink from Creator. Likewise, we'll see if Clem goes for an earlier timing as well. We have seen these early 2-on-1s, skipping stim and going for more heavy marine kind of early game aggression. We'll see if we see something similar to that here as well. Now, so far so good. We have our initial openers. Quack in the chat, Pappy, quack. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Says that factory. Checking the vision here, Creator, he did spot the factory timing, so he's aware. He's aware this was a double gas opener. He doesn't lose the probe. The probe does get away. So far, so good. Oh, hello. I saw the rally here. Clem, meanwhile, he does send out his SCV. Remember, this was a double gas opener, faster factory, faster starport, and it looks like the plan is to go for the starport as a proxy. This will be a prime location for the starport to go for a medevac, to go for a proxy drop into the main base. There we go. CC on the high ground. SCV is in position. Reaper does distract here at the natural, and there it is, starport. Now, this could be one of two things, either proxy liberator or proxy medevac. Based on the positioning here and based on the fact that we should be going for reactor Hellion, it should be a Hellion drop into the main base. Again, the alternative to this would be a Hellion harass into the natural and then the liberator prime to just dive straight into the main, but it should otherwise be a medevac. That is the more common choice here. Again, starport is almost done. As it stands, Creator, he's unaware. He's unaware. He is lacking vision, lacking map awareness. Behind this, going into blink. So far, only 1 gateway. We should be seeing extra gateways momentarily here, but we'll see if Creator's in position to defend. So far, there it is. Second gateway's on the way. Medevac is coming. It is going to be the Hellion drop into the main base. Remember, how many Hellions does it take to one-shot a probe? 3. 3 Hellions will one-shot a worker. And as they do splash damage, if the workers line up, then they can very quickly do crippling damage. Oh boy. And here we go. 4 Hellions move out. The medevac just now pops. Just now is ready. There's that natural base being taken. And again, this isn't meant to kill, but it can. This can do game-ending damage. So far, we have a shield battery. We have our 3 units, 2 adepts and a stalker here at the natural. The main base is exposed. And here we go. The medevac does boost in. He is now spotted. And how quickly does Creator react? Pulls away. Does pull away. Probes are lining up. And ooh, so far, so good. It does body blocks. I mean, it's still going to be 4. It's going to be 5, 6 probe kills. Hellions, they drop into the natural. All the workers, they evacuate the natural base. 0 economy, 0 mining. A couple of workers left behind. Oh no! Oh my god, getting into 7. Yeah, 7 probe kills, and we're still not done. Getting another 2 probes towards the end, getting up to 11. Oh, getting up to 10. Yeah, 10 workers go down, and only losing 1 Hellion as well. Very efficient trade here for Clem. Unloads the Hellions, going back in. The medevac does distract, and meanwhile, at the natural, there's only 1 stalker, and we're going to get another volley off. Oof. Another volley goes off, another probe. Another 2. And again, 12 probe kills for only 2 Hellions. And remember, this was not an all-in. Behind this, we're just transitioning. We're getting into our tank production. Extra axes are being thrown down as well. 3-1-1 setup. We already have 2 tanks. Stim is on the way, and this is going to be a very strong stim timing. Clem takes a lead. Clem takes a massive lead here from the early game. Just quickly, the economy. At this point in the game, this should already be a third. This should already be a third base, but Creator, he cannot afford it. We're still going back in. Oh my god. 2 Hellions taking 2 shots. Gets 1 volley off. Gets another 2 more probes. Ay, ay, ay. 14 probe kills in total. And remember, Clem, these Hellions, they don't scale well into a longer game. He wanted to get rid of them, and he trades as efficiently as possible. Yeah. And with that, Creator, he's in a very rough position here. The pressure is on Creator to do something drastic to recover. Either cut some corners and be hyper greedy and pray you can get away with it, or double down and go for an all-in. It's usually one extreme or the other. Trying to play standard and trying to play catch-up, it is incredibly difficult to get away with that as you're relying on your opponent to make mistakes. Or like we finished, say, quack. Beautiful, beautiful. So we go to Soul because they move out. They will threaten the natural. But again, we already have our tanks in position. 3 tanks already sieged up. But again, we're building up the bio. And by the time Stim finishes, Clem should just move out. He should just push here on 2 bases with Stim. And that can potentially end the game. Now, there are going to be opportunities here for Creator to maybe backstab and force back the army and force an early siege, force an early stim, maybe even pick off a tank early on as well. There's potential to find some damage, but the problem here is it's only 4 Stalkers. Like, there's no reinforcing pylon, or there's no War Prism back at home. We're still trying to tech up, working towards Colossus production, still yet to saturate the base. Clem is still ahead economically, by the way. He's still up on workers on 2 bases. And here comes the move out. Stim is not done. Stim is ready. So far killing 2 Marines. Do we pull the boys? Not quite. Doesn't pull the boys, gets a 3rd TC. But again, this move out here is going to hit like a truck. And Curator is going to try to slow it down. Okay, he's got a couple of force fields, true. There's a scan. Force fields are threatening. Tanks already sieging up. Colossus has arrived. Ooh. What's going on? Catching the Zealots. Clem wedging himself in. Ooh, massive tank shots to the Stalkers. Yeah, very nice splash damage. Yeah, tanks, they just punish the army. Doesn't focus on the Colossus. But nice damage nonetheless on the Immortal. Yeah, the Immortal goes down. Colossus is exposed. And these are just brutal losses here for Creator, losing almost every single Stalker. Now the Colossus is exposed. He's going for it. What a mass, he gets it. Colossus goes down. And with that, Clem crushes the main army. 2 Stalkers survive. And now here comes the next wave. Here come the reinforcements. There's still a tank left over. Clem is going to regroup and push again. And even though Creator survived, his losses were heavy. Some heavy losses here for Creator. Clem is pushing forward. Charge is now done. Charge will help. As everyone does just bully back the ground army. Jesus. Yeah, and here come the reinforcements. And once again, they can just dive on the Colossus. Focus on the pylon. Vikings, they just go to town. The boys are being pulled. The Creator getting desperate. But again, this entire game, he's been desperate. And he just cannot hold his own, not against this bio army. We stim and we win. GG gets called, and Clem takes game number 1. GG. And GG, well played. Clem, he will take a lead in the series. Again, a Creator, he, alas, unfortunately had a very rough start to the game. Early on, if you remember, Creator, he did go for a relatively standard opener. He was going 2-gate blink, but alas, he did miss the proxy. He did miss that there was any semblance of a proxy, didn't scout the main base, didn't realize that the starport was missing, didn't realize that anything was going on, really, and he lost 14 probes. 14 probes at the start of the game. That is essentially a mineral line. That is just under a mineral line worth of workers. To lose that many workers that early on, I mean, what can you do? As you mentioned, the only real chances there for Creator were to either go for an all-in or be hyper greedy, one of the extremes. In the end, he tried to play standard. I mean, I say that he was trying to rush into Colossus. True. He was trying to rush into Colossi to have some kind of army to work with, but again, he just had too much of a deficit, and the map does favor aggression, as we mentioned, so Clem could just move out. GG. GG, well played. With that, Clem does take a lead in the series, and now we are going to be loading into game number 2. Yeah, loading into that second game. Going to be loading into Tourmaline. Oh my god, speaking of aggressive maps, Jesus. The aggression continues as spawning in the right-hand corner of Tourmaline. We have the French Terran player. We have the Red Terran leading the series 1-0. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss. It is Creator. We go. Again, it is so difficult to recover from early game damage. This is applicable to both the Terran and the Protoss in TvP, but early game momentum is very difficult to recover from. As we mentioned, that Hellion harass, that Hellion damage was game ending. And sure, there are some niche opportunities to try to bounce back in that kind of game state, but again, it is very, very difficult to achieve. And we'll see if Creator can tighten up his early game defense. We'll see if we have another plan in store for us. Hello, as Creator does move out after scouting the 3rd location. So Creator just checking for proxies. Clem back at home is settling into what looks to be a standard opener. Remember last game it was double gas into a faster factory, into a proxy starport. This time single gas, which means we have a faster CC, faster command center, a more economic start at a Clem this time. So Clem, he does mix things up. As we're mixing things up, once again, welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is the most aggressive map in the map pool. Hyper aggression is favorite here. The natural is open, the 3rd base is open, the 4th base is open, the 5th base is every base is open. Every base is more exposed, short rush distance by ground. So we're expecting aggression here in the mid game at least. Clem does open up economically, but this doesn't mean that he's going to be playing passive. Not at all. Does go for more economic start. Creator, he sees the timing of the CC, so now Creator knows that there's no crazy Hellion drop coming his way, right? It's not going to be the same build, because this time the factory is later, the factory is delayed, and the starport is delayed. So Creator, he knows that the priority here is the economy in the early game. So Creator, he is safe, and he can respond with greed of his own. Now the problem here is what we just mentioned. The 3rd base is quite exposed. Trying to be greedy on Tourmaline feels very risky for the Protoss, side of things. So we'll see how Creator approaches this. But at least he knows he's safe. Accounts opener. Like, for example, we could see 2 gate blink into a 3rd. I think that would make sense, but again, I'm not too fond of the idea of cutting gateways here on Tourmaline. Meanwhile, Tech Lab into add-on swap. Oh, do you see what I see? That is a 2nd Rax. So a 2nd Rax, what does that mean? That means that we are heavily delaying the starport. The starport is heavily delayed here, and that means that we're going to be rushing into the upgrades, rushing into stim, rushing into bio production, rushing into armory production, and going into a delayed medevac production, into delayed drop play, which means if we see a 3rd Rax, our eyes are on this SCV. If we go for a 3rd Rax, this screams 2 base all in. Yep, there it is, 3rd Rax, 2 base all in. So as we mentioned, this is a heavy delay with fast stim, fast combat shields, fast bio production into a later starport, into a later medevac, into a later push, but one that does hit quite hard with early stim. So early stim. Now the downside of this build, as you can see here, no tanks, right? Like we do delay any kind of factory-based tank production because you're going for the add-on swap into faster stim, right? You need the tech lab on the racks so stim can be prioritized. So that is one weakness here of this, is that the factory production is going to be delayed. You're mainly going to be using this for add-ons for the starport. And again, early on, Creator is safe, but this does hit a very strong later timing with stim. Meanwhile, Creator back at home, he's going for what exactly? We have 1 gateway and a robo here at the natural, safety shield battery as well. Back in the main base, we have 2 more gates, so 3 gate blink, very safe play out of Creator, and you could argue overly safe. Creator is playing blind. He doesn't know what's going on. Yes, he's up against a 2 base all-in, or he's up against hyper aggression on 2 bases, but this hits later. What does that mean? That means that Creator could be greedier earlier on to get away with early greed to try to get that edge over his opponent. Regardless, this is going to hit hard. Creator is still playing blind. You can see he's getting ready for, say, Banshee Harass, Widowmine drops. Like, he's getting ready for standard play. He doesn't know that something unstandard is coming his way instead. I mean, I say unstandard, like, this is the kind of thing that you expect to see on Tourmaline. We did mention that this is the most aggressive map of the map pool, and aggression is favored here. And again, this is hyper aggressive on 2 bases. There's the add-on swap into double medevac, and when the medevacs arrive, this is going to hit like a truck. Oh boy, it's going to hit around 5:30. Creator is he's moving out to meet Clem. He goes for a delayed 3rd base, so delayed 3rd at a Creator. This will not help in the defense, as it is late. Stalker's going to be moving in. Now, if Creator stims into Clem, Creator will lose a massive chunk of Stalkers because of stim. Stim will punish him. Creator, he's going for it. He blinks it. No! Yeah, blinks into the main. Does focus on the Cyclone. There's Stim. Yeah, Stim is revealed. The Cyclone goes down, but he's going to lose 1, 2, 3 Stalkers. Yeah, Stalker's getting picked off. He gets punished, and Creator has to get the hell out of here. Guess I has to get the hell out of here. That's 4 stalkers going down already. Massive loss for Creator. He rotates. The army is ready. There's a stim. Yeah, he stims. He gets 1. Can he get 2? Barely can. 2 more stalker kills. Ay. Doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, there aren't that many stalkers to begin with here. Creator, he could try to go for the backstab. Good try. Yeah, he's going for it. Rallied into the main. Blink is down, cooldown. Clem is expanding. At the same time, he's moving out to apply pressure, catching another stalker. The problem with the Prism moving in here is that we have to wait for the warping to complete. Prism threatens. He's trying to fake out. Yeah, he's trying to fake out Clem. Clem is still moving forward. Charge is not done. These are slow lots, and he's going for the stalkers. He gets 1. Yeah, 1, almost 2 stalkers go down. Widow Mines ain't thrown away. Massive connections. The Zell stage just melts. And we gotta pull the boys. And instantly 12 probe kills. Insane damage. The Immortal gets hearted down. No shield battery. Not within range. And this is critical damage. And yes, Clem doesn't kill, but he killed 12 workers. He got the Immortal. He killed how many stalkers? 9 stalkers went down. Delays charge. Depowers gateways. And these are losses that Clem can afford. He can afford this. He trades insanely efficiently, and now here comes the main army. Here comes the main rally. Ooh. That gets started down. Immortal gets caught. Massive pickup. Oof. Catching out the Immortal. A nice snipe of the Viking, but again, Clem at this point, he's just rallying everything across the map. He knows that he is so close to breaking Creator. He's close. Nice snipe of the Observer. You see Clem trying to bait the army back into the Widow Mines. Oh my god, the retargeting. Actually targeting out of Clem. It does force a bit of friendly fire. Just kill a couple of Marines with that Widow Mine shot. And Creator, he's hanging on. He's down. He's still down in workers, down in economy. Creator is still in a very rough position. At this point, Creator, he would already want a 4th base. He would already want a 4th base up. And a stronger probe count. We see Creator's trying to work towards Colossus. We have the Bay on the way. I'm still rallying, still zoning. That's the other run by. Okay, Clem out of position. Should get a couple of SCVs. There we go, getting 1, 2, 3, 4 SCV kills. Not bad. 4th base has been scouted. Clem turns everything around. And this does buy time, but unfortunately, like, Clem still has a very comfortable advantage here. Like, he's still up in army, up in economy. Up in every which way that does matter at the moment. So we do see the Creator, he's working towards a Colossus, and this Colossus can help swing the fight in his favor, but he still needs time for the first Colossi. And Clem is not giving him that time. When he rotates in between the bases, Creator tries to go for a counterattack or even tries to catch the drop. Creator out of position, there's a massive cancellation on the 4th base. Here comes Clem. Colossus has arrived. So the Colossus does help, but there's just a sea of Marines and a sea of Marauders. There's so much men with gun, baby. Yeah, 12 probe kills in total. Clem will be the first to max out. As Clem splits up his army. So 1 force threatening the fourth base, meanwhile the other threatening the natural. Breaks in. Pulls away. Here comes Clem. Rover's exposed. See Creator trying to react. I mean, he has built up a semblance of an army, but the reality is that Clem still has no overwhelming force. And now he's backing off, securing his fourth base. Clem, he's going to be the first to max. He's almost there. Tech-wise, the Ghost Academy's on the way. Vacuum production has begun. Now, for Creator, there are some ways to recover here. He's going to have to... Ideally, there's a couple of ways. One is to be able to backstab and go for a Zealot run by. If he's able to, while Clem is about to push, go for a Zealot run by, Zealot counterattack, a War Prism drop into the main base, harass in some way, and deal some critical damage, like there is going to be a chance there for Creator, while he keeps Clem's main army busy. Outside of that, there are some power spike units like Disruptors, like Storm, that can help even if you're down in supply. But in a head-on fight like this, it's looking nigh on impossible, but here we go. Them collapsing in. That's a lot of Marauders. Jesus. It's a lot of Marauders, Pappy. Might just going off. Marauders there built a tank. Kiting back against the Zealots. Nice force fields, but down goes the first Colossus. He gets one. He gets two. Yeah, 2 Colossus go down. There's 1 Colossus left. 1 Colossus remaining. You can see Clem's supply barely changes. Again, he's got a tanky army, Pappy. The lasers, they do nothing. Oof. And the final Colossus goes down. GG gets called, and Clem, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Clem will claim the series. Again, Creator had a very rough early game once again, winding it back. If you remember, Creator, he scouted the economic start, he scouted the faster CC, but Creator did not scout the follow-up. Remember, it was a racks into factory into second and third racks before starport. A heavy, aggressive 2-base build, borderline 2-base all-in. I'm going for an early stim timing, and Creator had no idea. He didn't scout. There was no hallucination scout. There was no observer heading into the main base. There was just very, limited vision there for Creator. And if you remember, he was blindly going for 3-gate aggression, delaying his third base in favor of the Warp Prism, in favor of his Stalker Warpins. And if you remember, he didn't really get any damage. He blinked into the main base and he lost 4 Stalkers. He lost 4 Stalkers almost instantly, and that was almost game then and there. The problem with losing that many Stalkers that quickly is that, one, your Stalker count is very finite early on, but ideally you're able to retain your Stalker count and threaten the backstab. And what that does is you don't necessarily find damage, but you can threaten and you can contain Clem. Clem suddenly doesn't go for a drop play because if he were to go for one, he knows that there's a mass amount of Stalkers waiting to backstab if he does move out. So that threat of a counterattack, that threat of a backstab into the main base is enough to deter the Terran, to contain them even, and to slow down their eventual move out, and to give the Protoss player time to build up their third base, to build up their own production, their own tech, and to get into the mid game. Unfortunately, because the Creator blinked into the main, he lost his Stalkers, he lost his army, he lost any kind of semblance of map control, and he just gave it up. He just gave up all that map control. Clem was free to just push, and push he did. GG, well played. Whew. With that, Clem, he will take the series, and we're going to be heading over to the quarterfinals. Now, we will not be following Clem. We don't have the matchup that he did go into. Instead, we're going to be hopping over to another match in the quarterfinals, one that I'm very excited about, with a returning player. Let's go, baby, let's go. Up next is going to be a TVZ between Bjorn and Laser. Again, Laser, he is a player that has been around for many years, of course, has been very active for many years as well. But if you know anything about a Laser in 2025, you'll know that he basically retired from StarCraft. Like a Laser, he stepped away, he stopped competing, and instead, a Laser, he started focusing on AoE 4. Just like sort of, and just like a couple of others, he did switch and did focus on Age of Empires 4 instead, which is a different RTS game, and Laser took a massive break from StarCraft. Because of that, it is a little bit unfortunate, but Laser, he is now teamless. He was let go by Team Liquid. Looks like Team Liquid, they restructured, and they don't really have any interest in Age of Empires because AoE is not a part of EWC. So unfortunately, Laser, he did step away. But fun fact, ever since the new patch hit and the new map pool hit, Laser, he's been reinvigorated. Like the new patch and the new map pool did bring a Laser back, and Laser has been active again. It's been great to see. It's been great to see a Laser competing and playing again and devoting more time to StarCraft. It's a shame that it happened after he left Team Liquid, but it's really cool to see him here nonetheless.